2 months ago, I found my mother. I'd been searching for her for 17 years. So for Mother's Day, I decided to bake her a cake, her favorite cake. I have some memories of what she liked, but it's still quite blurry in my mind. It was so long ago. When I was little, around the age of 5 years old, my parents would have a lot of arguments at home. They were shouting all the time, the atmosphere was tense and heavy. I have a few memories, especially one. That summer evening when I saw a suitcase sitting in the hallway, the door slammed, followed by a long silence, and my mother never came back. She didn't even look back. My father then raised me and my sister alone for all those years, and I never got to know why my mother had left. Many years later, when I was going through some things around the house, I came across a picture of my father, my mother, and I, and suddenly, something just clicked. I talked about it with my sister and a couple of friends, and I decided to go and search for her. But where to look? I hadn't heard from her for over 15 years, and I had no idea where to start. So I started digging through social media, missing persons websites, and I also asked my father, who hadn't had any news for years either. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack, but after several months of searching, when I was almost about to give up, I stumbled upon an old friend of my mom on Instagram in a photo. And something incredible happened. Like a flash. A flood of memories hit me, and there she was, right in front of my eyes, my mother, my own mother. But she lived thousands of kilometers away, in England, in London, and I had no money at the time to go see her. I didn't let it discourage me, so I decided to save up. I found a job at a fast food restaurant in the evenings after school to earn some extra cash, and after a couple months, I had saved up enough to buy a plane ticket. My decision was made, I was flying to England. Upon arrival, I began the search. But where to look? London is huge. I knew her maiden name, but I mean, so many people have the same name. But still, I didn't give up. I knocked on doors, got turned away, knocked again, showed people her picture, but nothing. I was losing faith. But I entered the Paddington area of London, and I came face to face with the blue door. You know those beautiful English wooden doors with gilding? My eye gets caught on the sign on the right side of the doorknob, right there, my mother's full name. My heart starts pounding, I was scared, I was panicked, but I was here. I had to go, I needed to get the answers to my questions. I take a deep breath, and ring the bell once, but nothing. I ring it a second time, wait a couple seconds, and there I hear it, the key opening the door. And on the doorstep, I discover a tall and beautiful woman with long brown hair. We look at each other, and it was as if time had frozen. It was such an incredible moment. Our eyes filled with tears, no need for words. There it was. I'd finally found my mother. She was right there in front of me, right under my eyes, after 17 years. And it was the same exact woman, elegant and beautiful. We hug each other after all these years of separation. Such an emotional moment that will forever be one of the best moments of my life. And she tells me that when she was a teenager, she met the love of her life, her soulmate in England. But in the middle of this passionate love, she was obliged to leave to the US to follow her family and start a new life. And that's when she met my dad, at 20 years old. But they were young, maybe even too young. And so one day, she was walking around and she stumbled upon her childhood love. So the choice was right there. It was either my dad, her childhood love, or follow for part 2. I just finished my cake for Mother's Day, a tulip cake, because they're her favorite flowers,